And that's how I met your mother.
Dude, you haven't called her back.
I've never watched a single episode of that show, and I'm proud of it.
I've watched like 3, and that was enough for me.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I was a pretty big fan back in the day, but
we
it
know
doesn't
you
hold
were.
up. Of course,
It never did hold up.
No, that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't. I mean, it couldn't hold. What do you mean? Like it wasn't good?
Yeah, it was never good to begin with.
Like back in like 2004, 2005, there weren't many. I don't know. There weren't a lot of like quality shows out, so there was like slim pickings. I don't know.
Oof, well,
I liked it. I'm not going to be ashamed that I like it.
You
but
should be ashamed.
This brings a whole new layer to your Joe Pesci scale.
Yeah. Now I can't take your ratings seriously.
Wow. I didn't even rate How I Met Your Mother. I just said I watched.
God. Wait, how many Joe Pesci's would you give How I Met Your Mother?
So it's like 9 seasons, right?
Good.
I would say like the first couple seasons are watchable. They're not like complete dog shit, but it's not like it's a CBS sitcom. And then after that, it goes super downhill. The ending sucks. So Joe Pesci wise, I'll give How I Met Your Mother I'll give it a 3.5. I'll be generous.
Damn.
That's still way too high. That's 3 Joe Pesci's too high.
So you would give it a 0.5. Fair enough.
I've honestly, I don't even think I've seen a full episode, but like things here and there, I just on site, I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame anybody for not liking that show. It is very much dog shit. But like Neil Patrick Harris as Barney, he's not too bad. This is the How I Met Your Mother episode. Imagine.
Guys, I'm so excited today. I'm fucking thrilled.
Yeah, tell us your big news.
Tell the commies, guys. I fucking walked into Outback today and said, you know what? Today's my last day here.
How did you exactly do it? You got to give context to the background. Okay. The people need to know the story.
Okay, so here's the long story long, fellas. So started off, I'm a bartender at an Outback steakhouse. Been there for like 5 years. I work my ass off for this place. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying they don't ever do things for me, but I do a lot for these motherfuckers. And recently, apparently, my boss decided he didn't want me to bartend anymore. But instead of talking to me about that, he talked to a 22-year-old chick that I work with, like one of my peers, not one of my, like somebody who's been there a quarter of the time as me, not like a boss. You know what I mean?
Was he trying to be cool to this like young woman? Be like, hey, isn't Cody such a loser?
He's not a creep like that. I think I honestly just think he's a dickhead and didn't think his actions through.
Well,
Yeah. And
sounds like all of us.
And so I found out because that girl told somebody who told my roommate. So like I heard it fourth hand, meaning who knows how long it's been going around the restaurant. I don't want Cody Cannon behind my fuck you, dude, and fuck Outback Steakhouse. Y'all can suck my dick.
We heard it all the way here in LA, just so you know. That rumor's been around for a while now.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's an old Outback myth.
Yeah. It's never behind a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So wait, did you shove his face in a bloomin' onion?
So no, I just walked in and he's had weeks to talk to me, but I just instead of talking to me, he doesn't even know that I know, other than the fact that I haven't been put on the schedule. So he never confronted me about it today. And I just went up to the other management because we haven't worked together since I got back, since I heard all this shit. And I was just like, you know what, guys, today's my last day. And they were like, what about next week? And I was like, you only have me scheduled a couple days. They're not bar shifts. Y'all can it's just it's y'all can figure it out. You know what I mean? I've ate shit for this place too long, and like nothing against like the middle management. They're a bunch of sweetie pies, and I adore them. But fuck my boss.
I was kind of hoping you were like, "This is the Great Resignation, bitch," and then just walk out.
No, I wanted to make money, so I was like, "Today's my last day." And then I could have just worked the days they had me scheduled next week too, but I did not. I don't want.
So, do you have something else lined up?
I got 2 jobs in the bag already, baby.
Nice.
I mean, people know me around town. I've been serving and bartending and cooking around Morgantown for ages. Literally, the first place I walked in immediately after leaving, they were like, "You're hired, but just apply online so we get all your information." But
you just walked in and they saw you and you go, "You're hired." Yeah, you didn't even ask if they're hiring. They're just like, "You get in the back."
Yeah, they're like, "We need a man like you around these parts."
Nice.
And then the second place, I walked into this bougie restaurant around town, and the owner knows me. We've drank together and stuff like that. And I was just like, "You hiring, man?" He was like, "Front or back of house?" Because the answer is yes. And I was like, "I can do both." He said, "Would you be interested in doing both?" I was like, "Train me in every position, my guy." He said, "We'll talk Monday." And
you should have been like, "Would you be interested in paying me for both?"
Oh, he will.
All right. Just trying to make sure you get that money, dog.
Dude, I'm going to get my bag. Don't you worry.
Nice.
Well,
you know who else got the bag?
I knew someone was going to say it. I was waiting for someone to say something that would at least get us somewhat into a segue, but
the only person that got, or people that got the bag in Man of Steel, was the insurance companies that work in Metropolis.
They got the bag.
This is true. They definitely got the bag.
Yeah, they collected big.
Whole third act of that movie is just collateral damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. So that's this episode, y'all. We're talking the Man of Steel himself. My roommate's favorite poster.
What is the poster for Man of Steel? What is it?
It's just the thumbnail. It's like a picture of
he's flying in the sky.
Flying, yeah.
Oh, is it close up? It's just like him.
Yeah, no, on him with like a blurry earth below, like sky below him.
Is he in a Jesus pose?
No, he's in the
flying pose.
Yes.
He's at the top of the poster, right?
Exactly.
Like in the cities. Okay, I know which one you're talking about. Why? Because I'm looking at it right now.
Well, that's right. Today we discuss Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, a pivotal movie in the DC universe.
I mean, it is. Yeah.
I mean, it was. Honestly, I'll say something. When the trailer first came out, I saw it in theaters. I was like, "Oh, this looks cool."
Yeah, same.
Because like it was a cool trailer, and I actually don't dislike the movie.
Dude, I love the movie.
I want to say I love it, and I can't say overall that I hate it. You know, like I there's plenty of things I like, and I think Zack Snyder got right about Superman for sure. It's not like compared to like Batman versus Superman, this movie's way better.
Easily a lot
leaps
better.
And bounds.
That being said, I do have qualms with the movie, but where do you guys want to start?
Why don't we start with the fact that it's one of the first times we see Zack Snyder's like diluting the colors, which is actually one of my beefs with it. And it's actually one of my beefs with all of his movies. It's like, dude, why do you have to like the reason, like, I love that Marvel leans into it. Like, hey, our characters are colorful, literally.
Marvel isn't that much better in terms of color.
It totally is. Especially if you go by like first Avengers with Captain America's bright ass blue costume, Hulk being green, Iron Man's red and gold suit.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, sure. But I feel like even the Marvel movies tend to be a little bit muted. Like even Eternals, like it gave me that, it almost had a Zack Snyder vibe because of that reason. Like it was very
not
like,
Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is
definitely not Ragnarok.
Super bright and colorful.
Yeah, I think Ragnarok is like one of the ones that make that difference. You know, like that was incredibly like
Guardians
are colorful, and Infinity War isn't colorful. I would say Winter Soldier's not. You're right about that. I mean,
I'm not saying they're like not colorful. Like it's just like muted. That's the best way I could describe it. Like like even Guardians or a lot of these movies, like even to go to the fucking Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, like it's so dark, like literally dark. Like and the reason they do that is because of like all the CGI they need to use. I don't know if that's why Zack Snyder's doing it, but it's definitely a choice,
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think Marvel does it to the degree that DC.
No, definitely not.
Because it's almost like what's the point of having him wear a blue suit if you can barely see the fact that it's blue?
Right. Which is why in Justice League, at least the first cut of it, he is way more blue.
Yeah, he's way more blue, which I actually didn't mind that costume.
Yeah, I liked it.
I did too.
I do not like the S. I don't like his Kryptonian S.
I like the S. I like the S.
I think it's fine.
It gives it a plausible reason to wear an S, because otherwise it is kind of cheesy that he's wearing an S.
Yeah.
But I like that it's like the sigil of House L or whatever.
Right, yeah.
It would be like if Jon Snow wears a wolf on his armor, kind of like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like he says it means hope because that's what his dad tells him, but I remember a lot of people hated that line.
I mean, that line might have been stupid, but the reason behind the S, I don't think is that stupid.
Right, like Jor-El, Russell Crowe, I love him in that movie.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Jor-El. I think he's a better hero than Clark in the movie, to be honest.
For sure.
Yeah, Jor-El was that dude.
Like he was that dude.
That's what I like about. So what I really like about the movie, I thought they did Krypton really well. Going back to like what you just said, the colors were still kind of muted, but Krypton, I don't know, it doesn't need to be colorful for me, but that whole first sequence, I really, really like the first part of the movie.
Yeah, the opening is great, honestly.
It's incredible. Top of the line.
It's really cool. Even with the penis pods that they send Zod and them into.
Yeah. But even like it's interesting because like I guess they changed it in the comics, but originally Krypton is all about like kids are born, like there's no sex, like it's a sexless world. Like but Clark Kent is one of the only ones that are born, or Kal-El is the only ones that are born like naturally.
True. Yes.
Yep.
Which is like not cool, but it's like the movie's very leans into the sci-fi aspect of Superman more than.
I mean, it's like almost like Krypton was kind of a communist country. It's that every person had their role. I mean, Zod even says in the movie, he's like, I was born for the sole purpose of defending Krypton. I spent my entire life training, just like this person, you would be born and you're going to be trained in mathematics. You'll be a scientist. Like every person was designed to play a role into better society. The fact that this person was born out of a silly thing like love is blasphemy.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, Michael Shannon's Zod is
great.
I liked it. I liked him as Zod a lot.
Incredible.
What do you think they purposely gave him like a Caesar haircut so he could be more like
for sure.
Like exactly like Caesar.
Exactly like Caesar. Yeah, that's I noticed that too right away. I thought that was cool. I love Michael Shannon. He's a great fucking actor.
Mm-hmm.
Great actor. In my opinion, one of the best DC, if not the maybe second best DC movie villain they've had on second best, I'd say.
Next to who? Heath Ledger?
Probably. Well, just the Joker's villain. And honestly, all of the Jokers have been better. Well, not all, but most of them have been better than.
I mean,
Shannon.
Man of Steel starts a whole new era, like the Snyder era of the DC movies, and in that case, I would say he's the best villain out of all the ones we've seen so far from there.
That's true.
Agree with that.
Yeah,
way better than fucking Lex Luthor.
Oh, 100% better.
I don't know why they chose. What's that actor's name again?
Jesse Eisenberg.
God, why would you choose that?
What a dumb choice. Because they were like, oh, we're going to be cool and basically make Lex Luthor like Mark Zuckerberg.
Literally.
But they made him such like a sniveling, like, that's
what was even worse.
So dumb. Because, like, dude, I mean, I know we all watched the Superman animated series. Dude, Lex Luthor was A, kind of black, and B, he was like a big motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, he was like big and strong, and he was like a businessman. Like, he wasn't like some sniveling, like, I'm gonna, like, I just hated that.
Yeah, I don't think he's black, but as a kid, I always thought Lex Luthor in the animated series was like supposed to be black, but I guess he's not.
He's not white for sure.
Yeah, they definitely shade him.
He's not even voiced, I think, by a white voice actor in the animated series.
Right. And I like that. I thought it was a cool, it doesn't change anything about Luthor, but it gave the animated series Luthor like a different
Yeah.
Like way different than Gene Hackman for sure, you know?
Yeah. Or Kevin Spacey.
Oh my God. Superman Returns. That's a shitty Superman movie, like all
That's
around.
a terrible Superman movie.
Such a bad movie.
It's so dumb.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like that movie, maybe in some ways, like I don't like the ending of Man of Steel. I'm already throwing that out there. But Superman Returns, like he lifts a kryptonite island. Like what? Like that's his one weakness, and like that doesn't make sense to me. Like,
But
why
in the comics, he's always getting like stabbed with kryptonite shit, and he lives. Superman is almost impossible to kill, even with the one thing that weakens him.
No, true. But in that movie specifically, even like the smallest amount of kryptonite, like Brandon Routh is like, oh no. But like then he can lift the whole island. I'm just like, whatever.
Dude, that's the power of hope, my dude.
Which I never like. The movie does harp on that, Man of Steel, but I never felt hope. I don't ever feel like the characters feel hope. It's always so bleak throughout the whole plot, you know?
Well, if I may dive into some Superman history,
please dive in.
Kal-El is actually a Hebrew name.
Yes.
And it means light of God. So, and Joel Shuster and Jerry Siegel made Superman, and he's based off of, Moses. We talked about this with Abraham too.
Yeah, and they're both Jewish, the creators.
And they're both Jewish, yeah. So Clark being sent off in a spaceship is very reminiscent of Moses being sent down a river in a basket to be,
100%.
To free the people one day. And so I do dig that, and that Superman is supposed to be the beacon of truth, justice, and the American way, even though they changed that motto now.
They
Thank
did.
God.
Yeah. What is it?
What did they change it to?
It's still truth, justice, and a better tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go. I like that.
I like that too.
It's
not totally fine.
I think that's better.
It's way better.
I don't think that if Superman were in today's America, he would be pro whatever the government's doing. You know what I mean?
No, he would not be down with that.
Yeah, none of the children being in cages or trying to take women's bodily autonomy and killing of brown people overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Superman has always been around, since the 40s, right? Since the 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
So the comics, I mean, I can't say I'm an expert on Superman comics by any means, but more recent comics, he's definitely written by more liberal people as a more liberal character. I don't know if that's how he's always been, but the American way, that's a good point. What does it mean now? It's shit.
So there is actually one line from Man of Steel that kind of bothered me even when I saw it, just because it's he goes, there's a part, it's actually at the end when he's talking to the general, who we now know as Martian Manhunter, which is stupid.
Yeah, he didn't help at all in the movie.
Yeah, and he's like, well, we don't know who you really are. And he's like, I'm from Kansas. I'm about as American as it gets. And I was like, Kansas makes you more American than someone being from New York or Cal. That's stupid. I don't know,
yeah, but I mean, it's the American heartland. You know what I mean? Like
the backbone of America.
Yeah, how's that doing economically right now?
They've always say, "Hey, man, don't."
That's right. I'm shitting on Kansas.
Oh,
my brother says it's the worst state to drive through
because it's so flat.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's flat. When I drove out here and I drove through Oklahoma, my God, you've never seen flatter land in your life. It was actually the first, driving through Oklahoma was the first time I ever saw tumbleweeds in real life.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And they're fucking huge, man. They're like monster truck tires, some of them.
Yeah.
Dude, they get massive.
I don't think I've ever seen a tumbleweed.
Dude, it was crazy. I was like...
They don't have them in the Bronx?
They don't have them in the
Bronx. They got a different kind of weed in the Bronx.
Hey,
yo. Whoa. Speaking of that, I'm going to hit my vape pen because I'm cool.
Yeah, I just got ripped. Rip Van Winkle,
I feel like back in the day, sometimes you'd hear really strong weed be called kryptonite or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that? There's definitely also a song.
There's a Big Boy song from Outkast called Kryptonite.
Yeah.
He's like, I be on that kryptonite. Yeah.
Yeah, that song bang.
Is it better than 3 Doors Down?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hard yes.
Anything is.
I will throw hands with somebody who says otherwise.
Do you guys have a favorite Superman related song? There's one from Tony Hawk that I love. It's just called Superman. That one's the best. It's like what's the name of the band? Goldfinger. There we go.
Yeah, Soldier Boy song. Do that Superman.
Superman that hoe.
Yeah, Superman that hoe.
That's a good one.
I think Soldier Boy and Hans Zimmer should team up to do the score for the next Superman movie.
Man of Steel did have a 6 score. I did like it.
Of course, that was Hans Z.
Yeah.
Z.
Yeah.
VHZ himself.
General Zimmer.
General Zimmer.
But, I mean, I feel like one thing, Anthony, we've talked about this and we can't let it go. One thing I do hate about Man of Steel is the fact that he let his dad die. It makes no sense.
No sense at all.
It makes no sense at all. And Kevin Costner's just like, dumb. He's like, stop. Don't save me. I don't want people to know that you have powers. It's like, dude, first off, Superman is so fast that he could have saved him without anyone noticing.
So I always thought that, right? But I rewatched the movie this morning and so by the time when we first meet Superman in the movie, present day, he can't even fly yet.
Yeah.
So maybe he didn't have enough powers to save him in that exact, fly. I'll give it that much.
He could have ran. He could have still sprinted and saved him.
Yeah, no, there's a million things he could have done. Like, he's obviously stronger than Pa. Like, he's obviously stronger than Kevin Costner. But he's just like, right, he puts up the hand, and then he tells Lois Lane, oh, I let my father die because I trusted him. Like, what?
What? Yeah, that's the dumbest fucking thing. Also, and then he goes on to pretty much show his face, like, for the rest of history, you know?
Yep.
Dude, Superman saying that shit to Lois Lane is just some sad boy shit. He's like, I'm tortured, suck my dick. Fuck Superman for that.
That's something Morpheus would do in The Sandman.
Yeah, exactly.
That absolutely, that was the first biggest sin of the movie for me, because the biggest sin, the movie sin, because I do like how they show Clark as a kid. Like, I like how they show him growing up and realizing his powers. Like, he can't, he's hearing too much, he's seeing too much. I really like that. Like, young Clark, they got that right.
That part was cool.
His whole childhood was dope.
Yeah. I mean, it was sad boy childhood for him.
Sad boy.
No, man, he lived that life. He had superpowers, man.
Yeah, but he was always sad. Like, if he got into a fight, he can't beat the shit out of anyone. He can't hit them back
because they'll kill them.
Yeah, dude.
And he has to hide being himself. That's, there's metaphors there for sure. But, being a kid and not being able to be yourself to that extreme, that's got to be hard.
I think Zack Snyder knows all about that. I saw a really good. Well, no, seriously, I would actually argue yes.
Yeah.
He's both a father and he's had a daughter who committed suicide.
Right? No, you're right. Yeah,
you're absolutely. And I'm sure that's I'm sure he dealt with his daughter's depression for years before that happened. So
right.
Yeah, I don't really shit on Zack Snyder as he's an edgelord, but he's not like the worst filmmaker out there.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I would not say that.
Saw a really. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. There's too many butts in this movie, so go ahead.
I saw a really cool video the other day. This is a stand-up comedian. He's talking to a dude in the audience. And he's like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a director. He's like, oh, yeah, right. He's like, this is in LA. He's like, everyone in this town is a director. He's like, would I know some stuff you've done? He's like, you might. And he's like, well, what are your initials? And he's like, ZS. And he's like, and the comedian thinks about it and he goes, I don't know what, Zack Snyder? And he's like, yeah, I'm Zack Snyder. And he looks at him, he's like, oh shit. And it was Zack Snyder. But it was cool. Zack Snyder wasn't being a dick or anything. He was like, no, he he didn't even want to be talked to, heckled, but it was cool. He was like, yeah. I thought that's a cool story.
I don't listen. I don't hate Zack Snyder. I just think his choices are a little weird sometimes. Though a lot of people defend the movie and say, well, this is Zack Snyder's take on Superman, which is fine. I mean, any movie is going to be someone's take on a character. But what bothers me is that for a lot of it, his take on the character is really comic accurate. Krypton, going back to Krypton, to how he's, raised as a child, a lot of it tracks for me. And then suddenly it doesn't. He goes way too hard to the Jesus aspect. And you said before, it's not even that he's based off of Jesus. It's definitely a Moses.
Yeah, he's not even supposed to be based off of Jesus. Yeah.
But this movie hammers really hard that
when he goes out of the spaceship, he's like,
Yep. And then even before that, when he's in church talking to the priest and like a little bit out of focus, you see Jesus behind him.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we know as the movies go on, he dies and comes back to life.
Like Jesus.
Like Jesus, people really do see him as a... And even Jor-El at the beginning of the movie, like when he's about to send him off, he says to Laura, his wife, he's like, they may see him as a god. And she doesn't really like that.
Yeah.
She kind of gives him a face like, that's not why we're doing this.
Yeah, for real.
And I don't think he should be seen as a god. And I don't think he, in the movie, nor in the comics, does Clark
He doesn't want to be seen as a god. Yeah. But you know what I like? I like in some of the comics, when they do Lex Luthor, like Lex Luthor has a point. And like, there've been some cool comics where Lex Luthor is like, dude, if you really like, just leave this planet and we'll be fine. He's like, your very existence here attracts like interdimensional cosmic villain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just dip. Let us like be humans and evolve on our own without you saving us every 5 seconds and making us like weaker and softer.
And I do agree with that. But Lex Luthor, the problem with that is Lex Luthor is only really saying that because he wants to be. It's almost like how a lot of like richer people will be like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, like Lex Luthor could definitely advance the earth, but he's going to make money doing it. You know, like he's not doing it for the greater good. He's doing it for his own good.
Yeah.
In the comics, he's not in this movie, obviously, but
yeah. In some iteration, have you ever read Luthor by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo?
I did, but I can't honestly say I remember what like the plot was.
Well, it was like that, but he was still
like Lex Luthor has even joined the Justice League at some points. Like he's not always
Lex Luthor ran
evil.
for president and won.
He did, yeah. He beat Pete Ross, who's in this movie, Superman's best friend, or
the
Clark's
redheaded dude with the glasses.
Yeah, that's also very comic accurate. This is what I'm saying. Some things are like extremely accurate in the movie, and then others are like, what?
I mean, I liked Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White.
Yeah, we needed more of him.
I thought that was good casting.
Yeah, he was great. I wish he had more to do.
And dude, the fight with him against the other Kryptonians in Kansas is dope.
Oh, it was. And Laura too. She was great.
Action segments are fucking
sick. That fight. What was her name?
Aora?
Yeah, Aora, dude, she's a badass. And that was the first time in like modern superhero movies where you finally, dude, like that part where she just like super speed kills all those soldiers.
Yeah.
I was like, that's sick. That's how they would fight. Like you would actually, if you were to watch Superman fight Zod in real life, you could barely keep track of how fast.
Yeah, kind of like DBZ.
Yeah, exactly.
But what, I mean, I'm going to be nitpicky in this one part.
Oh, here we go.
How are they so strong? Superman's been on Earth for literally, they say, okay, to go back to even more to Jesus, Zod or someone says they were in space for 33 years, which is exactly how old Jesus was when he died. So hammering that in even more. But so Superman's 33 and he's still like, he only just got like full power, I guess. But they're on Earth for like, how long? Were they in the solar system, I guess? That makes sense.
That would make sense to me because even if they're in the solar system, they're still eating the sun's rays, you know? They don't have to be on Earth.
Right.
They could be on Mars or Jupiter and they'd still be getting hit.
And not only that, but as soon as they got that power, they're already trained killing.
That's another thing. Superman was not a trained fighter, whereas these people were. And I like that part where Zod's armor gets fucked up and it's too much stimuli and he's like, ah! But then he like comes back and he like focuses and masters that shit.
But I feel like in that moment, Clark almost does what a villain would do. He's like, oh yeah, that used to happen to me. This is how I got over it. Which is like a Superman thing to do, but he's helping Zod in that way. Like Zod's like, oh.
Yeah, but you know, this is his first role doing some shit like this. Like, I don't mind the collateral damage too much just because it's like, I don't know if he would necessarily think right away to take this battle to space. Or even if he did, I was even saying before, like, that doesn't mean Zod would follow him. He wanted to kill humanity.
Right.
Like, Zod would try and come back to the planet and kill everybody.
My problem is that like it's excessive collateral damage. It's not just like one or two buildings. It's like Kansas
it is
and
super
Metropolis.
excessive.
Like so okay, and this is why like we're maybe this is jumping ahead, but this is why the end really bothers me. There's so much collateral damage, right? Superman is going through buildings, Zod and Feora are going through buildings, buildings are falling, planes are crashing, gas trucks are just oil trucks are just exploding. So people are dying. There's no way those buildings were empty. There's no way people weren't trapped under rubble, right?
Did you see Batman vs Superman? Bruce Wayne evacuated a lot of those buildings.
Right. Right.
No, but you're right. Honestly,
that being said, at the very end, but okay, I'll give you some leeway for that.
I'm just using actual, things.
Yeah, no, I can't even say no to that. But that being said, when he snaps Zod's neck, it's to save 4 people.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he should have been killed him.
If that was the case. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I can't. That ending, I can't. I just can't.
I'm honestly down with him killing General Zod. Why would you leave that man alive? He's hell-bent on destroying humanity.
I think it's just the character of Superman. I just can't see him doing that. Even this version of Superman, I don't like. He obviously regrets it, right? He's not doing that. It's not murder, right? He's not like, fuck you, Zod. Like, this is premeditated. He's like, fuck, this is what I have to do. But I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like you could have, they established early on, right? That like what they do on Krypton to Zod and his crew, you could freeze them and put them in a black hole.
But Clark doesn't know that. He wasn't raised on Krypton.
Right. And I exactly. But Jor-El, the hologram, knows everything. And he tells Clark about the codex. He could like talk to you like he's still alive. There's no reason why he couldn't tell Clark, oh, here's a better way.
Yeah.
Well. And like to go further, because I know you have a good point about this and I don't want to be like, this is the answer, right? But in towards the beginning of the movie, okay, Jor-El's talking to Clark, and this is what he says when he's talking about the S symbol, right? He's like, that's what the symbol means. The symbol of the House of El means hope. Embodied within that hope is the fundamental belief in the potential of every person to be a force for good. That's what you could bring them. So he's saying, Superman needs to be a role model for the people of Earth. And then he's like, you will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They'll race behind you. They'll stumble. They'll fall. But in time, they'll join you in the sun. In time, you'll help them accomplish wonders. So Jor-El obviously is like, to me, that makes me think Jor-El isn't thinking about killing Zod. Like he's saying, like, I would take that if like I was writing the movie and I'm like, that's the reason for Clark to be like, no, I have to spare him because there's the potential of every person to be a force for good, That's how I took it, at least.
Yeah, but I don't think General Zod was really redeemable by then.
I don't think he was redeemable, but that's the thing. Like, me and you would not be as nice as Superman. If we had his power and Zod's murdering people, we'd probably snap his neck too. I'm not denying that what he did was necessarily the wrong choice. I just think as a character choice for Superman, it's just not what Superman does. Like, he always finds a different way. Like, even if he beat the shit out of him, fine. Like, Superman, that could fly with me. But the fact that he just snapped his neck.
What if he just gouged his eyes out?
That would be a bit too much.
Would that satisfy you, Anthony?
It wouldn't. That wouldn't satisfy me. But I said too much about that. I want to hear your guys' opinion about that scene.
I don't disagree with it, man. And I don't view it as that. I'm fine with him killing just that one time ever. And then being like, no, I fucked up bad. Like, I need to. And it would make for a good reason why, if there were good sequel movies, why he would let villains like Lex Luthor live instead of killing them, because he can be like, no, like, you can do better. You can actually help humanity. You don't have to be as criminal. So I'm fine with him killing Zod that one time. I'm also like, dude, like, some people are not going to give you the option to simply like let them live. Like, if he was like, no, I'm going to let you live, Zod's like, I'm going to spend my life trying to break out of this, whatever, and kill. Like, he even said, he's like, either I die or like they die.
Right.
He says it in the movie. So he's hell-bent on killing humanity. I truly felt like there just was no other option.
I like that take, Jake. I like it.
And it also like from a comic book standpoint, it is a little too tropey for like, the villains are always left alive and alive and alive to terrorize again and again and again. Like, people die in real life. Like, there's consequences,
For sure. But like, when we talk about MCU movies, I think we've all said, like, we don't like that they kill them off. Like, we like to see them return in that sense, not necessarily story-wise.
I like to see some of them return.
Yeah, some of them.
But
and
also,
then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, all I was going to say is, like, in regards to the Marvel thing, when that was Zod's death, felt like there was gravity to it. Much more, like, you could tell it affected him in a much different way than it happens in a lot of the Marvel movies. You know what I mean? Like, you care a lot that Superman did this.
I agree with that, actually. And I would almost say you're right. It almost seems in Marvel movies, once the villain gets killed, they're like the heroes are completely over it.
Yeah.
Like Superman, I feel like he almost mourned Zod, like the last of his people who thought he was doing what was right for Kryptonians, not necessarily for Earth.
Yeah, well, going back to what you said when Zod is like, this is why I was born.
Yeah.
He's like, well, now you got rid of my purpose. I have nothing left to live for.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's a cool line, which is almost think about his motivation. Like, you just took what was left of his people, like 12 Kryptonians left. They're dead.
Yeah.
And now, and even on a genetic level, you're right. He was like bred for a sole purpose, and he now can't even do that. So he would almost crack and start murdering.
To go back to what we were talking about before, if Zack Snyder is trying so hard to make Superman this Jesus figure, that's just not something Jesus would do. Jesus wouldn't snap a dude's neck.
My Jesus stays snapping necks. I don't know if you remember that part of the New Testament, but Jesus snaps some necks.
There's a line from Eastbound and Down where Danny McBride is talking. He's narrating. And he goes I consider myself a Jesus figure who looked at the Romans with blood in his eyes, got off the cross and said, "My turn now, cocksuckers."
That's amazing.
Yeah. Jesus don't fuck around.
Our Jesus kills, dude.
Yeah. He said he talked bad about the banks. He was trying to break some necks. You know what I mean?
Dude, I mean, Judas did kill himself. One might argue that Jesus led him to it, you know?
Yeah, dude, he used his powers, superpowers.
Yeah, he used his mind powers.
Yeah.
Judas was like, oh my God, I need to hang myself.
I like that Jesus is like Charles Xavier in our universe.
To me, my Christ men.
No, but yeah, dude, Jesus be snapping necks.
But I do think your beef with the ending is totally legitimate. Honestly,
yeah, I think a lot of people have that issue. I just
don't find it to be that big a deal. But I agree. I see why people are like, "Well, man, my Superman doesn't murder."
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm with Jake in the sense that, I think it's kind of cool. It makes sense. It's his first real battle.
That's true.
Right. You know,
yeah,
it's like Superman Year One, basically, that movie.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It's just like, what's the one thing Superman doesn't do? And it's kill. Sure, you could find a moment in the comics where he does kill Zod once, but it's not like a...
Yeah, but you're also talking about the same exact universe where in the next movie, Batman kills everybody.
Right, I don't like that either.
Which is also...
Yeah, it's just
I'm not saying that's a good defense. I'm just saying, lofty expectations for the Snyderverse, my man. We're talking about the Edward King himself.
That's true.
But this is what I'm saying.
Zack Snyder, baby.
That's why I tried to lay out how much of the movie I like. I think he gets a lot right, and then he just takes that turn, and whatever. If the movie ended and he puts Zod in the they don't call it the Phantom Zone, but that's what it is. If that's what he put him in, yeah, maybe it's not going to be a strong ending. You're right about that. But I wish it could have just ended any other way. Just any other way. That's all.
That's fair.
Like you said, he could have. Why couldn't he have flown up? Why couldn't he have done that? He could have just.
But Zod would have just flown back to Earth.
Right, but in the sense that you could have trapped him again. That was something they established, that it exists in that universe. Yeah. They just chose to be like, fuck that. He'll kill instead. I don't know. That's all. I have nothing else to say about that except I don't like it. And, I liked it's his interpretation.
What's her name? Feora?
Feora.
Oh, she was great.
She was awesome.
She was one of the coolest characters. Dude, how
did she die? She just explodes?
She's in the ship when what's his name from Law and Order.
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
What's the actor's name? Why am I Chris Maloney.
Chris Maloney, there you
go. When he dives the ship into the Phantom zone.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
They call him Guardian. I wonder if he's supposed to be like that Superman character that has the shield. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
He's like a Metropolis defender. When Superman dies, he's one of the people that come around. He's like, I'll defend Metropolis.
Yeah.
There's in Man of Steel, the General's number 2, that woman.
Yeah.
But she's like, I just think he's kind of hot at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
If you look at her name tag, it's Green Lantern's girlfriend's name, the Air Force.
Oh, Carol.
Why am I blanking? Carol
Ferris.
Yeah, Carol Ferris. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't notice
her
that.
name
That's
tag is
awesome.
Ferris. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So there's like, I don't know. There's actually like a lot more I like about Man of Steel than I don't like. I thought the flying looked cool.
Yeah.
I'm about to get real nerdy, but like, I like, they don't really explain it, but they kind of like, showing way explain it. Okay. Like, he tries to fly and then he like crashes back down.
Yeah.
And then he like puts his fist down and you see like rocks levitating around him.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like he can control, like it's not necessarily that he can fly so much as he can like control the gravity around him.
Yeah,
that's like, a good detail.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool.
Dude, the whole man, I really like this movie. I probably like it more than I definitely like it more than Anthony. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really like this movie.
Don't get me wrong. Like Henry Cavill as Superman is top notch. Like he's he's Superman.
I think he's a great Superman. They should have used him more.
Yeah, I want to see him in I want to see Man of Steel 2, but not Zack Snyder's
Superman movies. I don't want he doesn't need to be in other people's,
like this might be not the popular take, but the non-Snyder cut version of Justice League, I liked how they portrayed Superman in that. I hated the CGI getting rid of his mustache, but I liked how friendly he was and how like not gloomy he was for some of the movie, at least the second half.
I liked it too, but I didn't like in the original Joss Whedon cut when he's like, and I'm a big fan of Justice when he says it to what's his name?
But I feel like Superman has to have a bit of corniness. You know what I mean? He can't be too cool.
Yeah, he is corny.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You got to have corniness. One of my favorite, and I can never remember the exact quote, but one of my favorite conversations. One of the things that because I feel like as a Superman fan, like most people often go through a period where they're like, man, Superman's kind of whack. You know what I mean? Like people kind of feel like they grow out of him. He's not edgy enough. He's like goody, whatever. But the speech about him in Kill Bill Volume 2.
That's a good speech.
Yeah, that monologue really, that's one of the things that like got me thinking and like convinced me to rethink the way I view Superman. And this,
wait, what does he say in the monologue? I don't remember.
He says I don't remember word for word, but basically he's like, Superman's secret identity is a human. He's mild-mannered Clark Kent. He slouches. He's insecure. He's clumsy. He's weak. He's not like assertive. He's the exact opposite of and he's like, but that also tells you that because he's trying to blend in with humanity, that's how Superman views humanity, as weak and insecure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And which I think is even a good way to look at it. Like if you were to look at Lex Luthor's motivation, be like, dude, this guy clearly, even though he's helping us, he thinks we're incapable of fucking helping each other.
Yeah. I see. I could see that. But also, I don't know. There's plenty of comics where Superman's like, no, I trust, I believe in humanity. Like if he's acting that way, it's because if you saw this like huge Superman looking dude just in an office with glasses, like it might give it away. So he purposely has to just kind of hunch down. Like at the end of Man of Steel, he puts on glasses and like, I feel like Lois Lane knows it's him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to blend in to blend in with us, that's what he has to do. Well, the Daily Planet.
Yeah, but it's it has.
Oh yeah, she already knows he's
right. She has to know.
We already know that in Man of Steel. It's already established that she knows.
But it's stupid because all he does for everyone else, like you said before, like he just puts on glasses, but like he doesn't save his dad because he might reveal his secret. But when he
didn't have the glasses. If he had the glasses, he would have saved his dad.
God. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have like Superman comics that like? I think I know your answers already, but is there like a Superman comic that you really think like this is Superman for me?
Yeah, well, there's like 10 really solid Superman stories. One we've already mentioned before is obviously All-Star Superman is sick.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later though.
Yeah, we'll do a separate episode for All-Star Superman because we want to just talk about that.
But like there are some like definitive one of mine, which I've told you guys about, Superman for All Seasons.
Ooh, love that one.
Which is by Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb yet again.
Yep.
And that's
a really good one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Have you read Superman Birthright?
Yes.
That's awesome. Mark Waid. That's a good one.
That's awesome. This one's kind of trippy, but the art is sick. This is Jim Lee. Superman 4 Tomorrow.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. Nice. It's kind of weird, honestly, but
yeah, it is.
And actually,
it's a different story.
It's a different story. In that comic, Superman refuses to cure a priest with cancer.
Yeah, right. So, but how is he able to cure him again? Like, how would he be
I don't think they actually say it, but
oh, gotcha. Yeah,
but he's Superman, so he can do anything.
Yeah. There's this Superman story by Jeff Johns called Superman Ending Battle.
Oh, I never read that.
It's pretty good, but it's this story that really makes me harp on the no killing. Because in this one, right, do you guys know, he's actually, I think, my favorite Superman villain, Manchester Black.
I don't know who that is.
So there's this team that they introduced called the Elite. And they're supposed to be good guys, but they're totally not, because they're run by this British superhuman called Manchester Black. And he basically has like telepathic powers, something that Superman really doesn't have a defense for.
Yeah.
So he's also like super strong, super durable. Like Superman just can't beat this dude. Like they established that. Like Superman just kind of has to like take him out and is like in a very like, I don't remember how he takes him out, but he doesn't. It's kind of like temporary. Yeah. So after they introduce that in that own story, there's Superman Ending Battle, and Manchester Black returns and he kidnaps Lois Lane and just throws a gauntlet of Superman's villains at him.
Ooh.
But he kind of makes Superman think that he killed Lois Lane. So Superman's pissed off. And when he finally gets to Manchester Black, before finding out Lois isn't actually dead, he spares him because he's like, I still won't kill you. This won't let me do it. Like, the story is more nuanced than that, but like he throws so much shit at Superman and still Superman's like, I'll let you live. Whereas in Injustice, Joker kills Lois Lane and Superman's like, I am now evil.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to murder and take over the world.
Well, but it's also like that in, isn't it like that kind of in Kingdom Come, he kills the Joker, doesn't he?
Does he? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think in Kingdom Come, he just doesn't save the world anymore. He lives in exile.
Yeah, he gives up. Yeah.
He gives up. He doesn't even like bother fighting anymore.
But doesn't the Joker in Kingdom Come kill Lois Lane?
Is that?
I don't remember.
I actually don't remember. You might be right.
So that's what I mean. I feel like when Superman does kill someone, it changes his character to the point where like you have Injustice. And I guess people like that, but I feel like that's like a too tropey. It's like evil Superman. Like we've seen so many villains that are just evil Superman, you know? Yeah. I like Injustice, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Like Superman should be Superman, and that's that. Like currently in the comics, right? Like Superman, the story is that Superman's getting a little older and he's kind of losing his powers.
Yeah.
And he has a son now, Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, Superman, he's now Superman. Superman went off to Warworld to fight Mongol.
Oh, shit.
So he and they had established earlier on, like in the future, Superman's like a prisoner on a Warworld.
Yeah.
And so his son has to be Superman now. And I don't know if you guys heard this. It was big in the news. They revealed that his son is bisexual, and that got so many people mad. They're like, Superman
what?
Can't be gay.
Superman's gay.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, what's your problem? Like, if anything, that's awesome that you made Superman someone that not only straight white dudes could relate to.
Dude, and I'm going to go ahead and say that because of his superpowers, like, you know, just the fact that he can like move his muscles and things at faster, different rhythms, he probably gives a mean blowjob.
A super blowjob.
Yeah, super blowjob.
Dude, it would be like you could just be like walking around the house and then just all of a sudden you're down and you're coming, you know? Like, what the fuck just happened to me?
Man, did you just suck my dick at supersonic speed?
So fucking scared.
Yeah.
You're just all of a sudden there was like a blow of wind and then your pants are at your knees and you're just
Hey, that's what they need to introduce into the Snyderverse.
Yeah, we need to see Superman giving head.
Have you guys seen, this is a weird segue because this doesn't happen in the show, but Superman and Lois, that CW show?
No.
Yes.
I watched some of it and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
It's not bad at all. It's not like a CW. I mean, it has CW.
It has CW elements, but it's not complete cheese garbage.
Yeah, like I thought they got Lois and Clark well.
Yeah, I think they actually kind of nail Superman.
Except him and Lois drink wine every night, every episode. I don't know if you noticed that. Just like huge glasses of wine.
And it would do nothing to Superman, so he just drinks it for the taste, clearly.
I guess so, yeah. That's a good point. There's no way he could get drunk.
I mean, he has a super refined palate, so if anything, he can taste things that we can't.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder, how does he shave in Man of Steel?
Just with the...
he just scratches
with his own hand, with his own hands.
That would actually be so cool if you could shave that way. That would be easy. Just like
I bet that's how. No, you're right. But how does he do a lot of things? How does he wipe his ass? Like, wouldn't the shit? Well, because like you're saying that like human metal razors wouldn't be able to cut the follicles of a Kryptonian. So in that regard, would a simple Charmin toilet paper be able to get Kryptonian shit out of a butthole?
That is a great point.
So that means Superman bare hand wipes his ass.
And then just washes it.
Yeah.
Or heat visions it.
Or heat vision, heats it off.
Oh, yeah. Kill all bacteria for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, maybe he freezes it over so when it thaws and he shakes someone's hands, he can give them like norovirus. And
See, that would be a way to get back at the like that. Well, I like the way he got the dude in the bar. He just destroyed his truck and like put it in like a.
He put a tree in the middle
with the electrical pole.
Oh, yeah, the electrical pole. Yeah,
that was a cool scene because that dude just like tries to shove him and he doesn't go anywhere.
That's cool. Yeah. It's such a little detail. He like full on like 2 arm shoves him, but Superman doesn't even budge.
Yep.
And then he like looks at him. He's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna have to ask.
How many Joe Pescis?
Joe Pescis.
Where we at with the J and the P?
I'm gonna let you guys go first this time.
Yeah. Cody, I'm gonna let you go first.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna give it a 4.6.
Okay.
That's all you're giving it, really? You said you loved it.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect movie, man. I just love it.
Wow, that surprised me. Okay. I might give it a higher. No, I think I would say the same as Cody. Honestly, I would say 4.5, maybe even a 5.
I'm going to say a 5. Honestly, it's not a perfect movie, but it's cool.
I almost said 4.9, but then for some reason, at the last second, I dropped down.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to stick with 4.5. It's that I remember the Twister scene again. Fuck that.
I'm sticking with 5. Twister scene and all.
Dude, I might give it a nice in the middle 4.8.
There we go.
Nice.
I hope we get a Man of Steel too, not gonna lie. I want Henry Cavill back in a solo movie.
Yeah, that would be cool. Dude, what if he gets scooped up by Marvel now?
As Captain Britain, he has hinted at that.
Yeah. But I want him to play someone cooler than Captain Britain.
I want him to be Sentry.
That'd be cool.
Literally the Marvel Superman.
Dude, I honestly just I don't care. I don't want him to be Marvel. Marvel's just doing too much.
Uh-oh. Sounds like Marvel's losing you, Cody.
Yeah, you've been saying that a lot lately.
Yeah, exactly. Are
losing
we losing?
Your grip.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What does Marvel need to do to keep you invested?
Less, it seems.
Yeah, dude, just do less, bro. Dude, we don't need 2.5 hour stepping stones to move your universe along. Just do less and do it better.
Are you guys excited for Hawkeye?
Fuck yeah.
I am. And know why? Because I really think Kingpin is showing up in that show.
That'd be cool.
I think it's really going to... I mean, it looks like it draws super heavily from Matt Fraction's run.
I also just thought of something now that you said...
I do love that run.
Now that you said Kingpin... Okay, so this is... Oh, shit, I got a whole idea.
Go for it.
Okay, so we see post-snap, Hawkeye is Ronin and he's killing all kinds of organized crime motherfuckers, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the snap gets back, and we see in the trailer for Hawkeye that like clearly organized crime people are now coming for the girl who's dressing up as Ronin. And I think it'd be cool
Kate
if
Bishop,
like Kate Bishop. I think it'd be cool if after the snap, Kingpin like takes advantage of all the chaos and becomes like head of a lot of the crime. You know,
that would be awesome because there is precedent for that in the comics when they do War of the Realms, which is like Thor's big event that happened a few years back. That's what happens. Like New York City is like trapped, and Kingpin saves a bunch of people, and that's how he becomes mayor of New York City. They're like, you saved us, Kingpin. But what makes me even, besides the rumors, Echo is going to be introduced, right? The character Echo is going to be introduced in Hawkeye. And in the comics, Kingpin is her father.
I don't even know who Echo is. Who's Echo?
She's a Daredevil character. She's deaf, and she's like a good hand-to-hand combatant. Think like how Daredevil has heightened senses because he's blind. It's kind of same thing with her.
Heightened because she's deaf.
I guess she's just a good fighter, but also just like she grew up in organized crime. So she's just, I don't know. I don't know her. She doesn't really have powers. But in the comics now, she's Phoenix.
Whoa, really?
She has Phoenix powers. Yep.
That's weird.
That's weird.
I have no idea. There was like a tournament where all the Avengers have to fight each other to become Phoenix.
So Mortal Kombat, but for the title of Phoenix.
Yep. I didn't read it, but I don't know. That's what happens.
That's pretty crazy.
That's man. Marvel. That's the only good thing about Marvel constantly doing shit is they have so much room to just like do random weird stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like weird stuff in comics. Don't get me wrong. It's just if it works, it works. If it doesn't, try something else.
I'm saying that's a pro.
Yeah, I'm saying I haven't read the story. It could honestly be dog shit that they do that. You know,
suck. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds dumb, but it sounds dumb in the cool Mortal Kombat kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the plot to make sense. I just want Avengers fighting for the title of Phoenix.
Yeah.
Capcom, make this a video game for me.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
That'd be cool. Mortal Kombat, but with the Avengers.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Oh, well, we saw today Multiverses. That's not going to be Avengers.
Which looks fun, honestly.
It looks great. I'm excited.
It looks like Smash Brothers, but with
cartoon
characters.
Yep, and it's free to play, so bring it on.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so no one has an excuse not to play.
It's a new game called, what's it called?
Oh, Multiverses. It's a Smash. It's literally like a Smash fighting clone. And it's going to have like what they showed today. It has like Tom and Jerry,
Bugs Bunny, Batman,
Superman, Harley Quinn,
the kid from what's it called?
Adventure Time, Finn
Adventure
and Jake.
Time, yeah.
Steven Universe. And there's going to be more. I think there's going to be Gandalf.
I think I heard there's going to be like even like Ren and Stimpy because there's a bunch of Nickelodeon characters in there.
There's a Nickelodeon one that already came out.
Yeah, this looks way better than that.
You're right.
Yeah, I think you're confusing
the two.
But that Nickelodeon game looks like trash.
It handles like trash.
Oh, you played it?
It's just like, KO has it. He loves it, but it's just like a bad Smash
Brothers. Yeah, I can see that.
Whereas this one, they actually got like Kevin Conroy to voice Batman, so they have like the voice cast. Whereas Nickelodeon,
did you say Gandalf's going to be in it?
Yeah, he is.
That's insane. I wonder if a Clockwork Orange guys are going to be in it
too. Dude, that'd be the only way I'd allow for the movie to make those choices.
Yeah,
get all of those characters.
That would be sick. Nice.
Yeah, dude. Except I don't keep Clockwork Orange guy out of it.
Yeah, we don't need
Well, no, I was just saying because you said they were in the new Space Jam movie.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and that's WB. So
that's WB also. So yeah. Yeah, I think there'll be good DLC characters.
Oh yeah, that's what you're gonna have to pay for the DLC.
Yeah, you gotta pay for the Clockwork Orange guys.
That pack includes Pepe Le Pew too.
Yeah, the sex offenders package.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey from Baby Driver is also a character.
Shit. Who from Baby Driver?
Kevin Spacey from Baby Driver.
Lex Luthor. It
Lex
connects.
Luthor. Yeah, it connects. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, you guys, I think that concludes our Man of Steel episode.
Yeah.
I like this combo a lot.
Yeah, this is Superman's always good to talk about. And yeah, next time we do Superman thing, we'll probably do All-Star Superman.
Yeah. I wonder if the Snyder people are going to get mad. Like people online, the Snyder cult people are...
Dude,
let's get mad very easily.
Pissed.
I hope they get pissed. So
let's
they share
post
it.
Inflammatory shit this week or next week. And just
let's do it.
Fuck Snyder sluts.
Yeah. Just add Zack Snyder on every platform. Be like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, dude. Eat my shit, Zack Snyder.
Sucker Punch sucked.
Yeah, Sucker Punch did suck.
It did. 300 is probably my favorite Zack Snyder movie.
300's cool. I don't know if it holds up, honestly.
It looks cool. Like, I think that's what Zack Snyder is good at. He has this stylistic...
It's very accurate to the comic.
Yeah.
Dude, you're missing, though, dude. My favorite Zack Snyder movie, no doubt, is Dawn of the Dead.
I don't think I've ever seen Dawn of the Dead.
Dude, it's when they're all quick and shit. It's honestly like the best zombie movie.
Is that the one with Mekhi Phifer?
Yeah.
Yes, that one is sick.
Because the scene where the zombie baby is born?
Yeah, Mekhi Phifer's wife gives birth to the zombie baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just came out with a new zombie movie, Army of the Dead.
Netflix with Batista.
It was really bad.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't that good either.
I watched it in an airport, and it was better than not watching it in an airport, but also not great.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for tuning in to Comics and Chronic. I'm Jacob H., Anthony Anaccio, Cody Cannon.
You're not all three of us. That's a lot.
I am now the Unimind. We'll see you next week.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
Later.
Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jacob H.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics and Chronic. That's Comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo!
Peace.